Hi, everyone, a morning under the Roman sky, witnessing the heartbeat of the universal church. The awakening of the eternal city. March 25, 2026, Rome awakens in a soft, golden embrace. The spring air, crisp with the lingering coolness of the Tiber and scented with the budding pines of the Janiculum Hill, carries a particular weight today. It is the Solemnity of the Annunciation, a day that resonates deeply within the Catholic heart, marking the moment the infinite touched the finite. But for the thousands streaming toward the Via della Conciliazione, it is also a Wednesday, the day of the general audience, l'udienza generale, a tradition that transforms this small sovereign state into the spiritual epicenter of the planet. By 7:30 a.m., the white travertine stones of the colonnades, designed by Bernini to embrace the world like the motherly arms of the Church, are already shadowed by a sea of humanity. To see the Vatican on a Wednesday morning is to see the universal Church in its most vibrant, chaotic, and beautiful form. A tapestry of humanity, the crowd and the atmosphere. The numbers are staggering. On a day like today, coinciding with a major feast and the Lenten season, the attendance fluctuates between 20,000 and 35,000 pilgrims. They come from every corner of the earth. You see a group of Vietnamese students waving their gold and red flags, their faces bright with the exhaustion of a long journey. Beside them, a delegation from Nigeria in vibrant liturgical fabrics shares space with Italian schoolchildren in matching blue caps and elderly Polish couples clutching rosaries that have seen decades of prayer. The atmosphere is a paradox. It is both a high-energy festival and a silent sanctuary. There is the hum of a dozen languages, Spanish, French, English, German, Portuguese, and the soft tones of Asian dialects, weaving together into a single, Pentecostal, murmur. Security is tight but discreet. The Swiss Guard, in their iconic Renaissance striped uniforms, stand like statues of fidelity at the bronze door, while the Gendarmeria Vaticana navigate the crowds with quiet efficiency. As 9 a.m. approaches, the tension of anticipation reaches its peak. This is not just a meeting with a world leader, for many. This is a pilgrimage of a lifetime. Mothers hold up their infants, hoping for a blessing. The sick sit in the front rows in wheelchairs, their eyes fixed on the empty chair, the Sagrato, at the top of the steps of St. Peter's Basilica. The liturgy of the audience, the structure of the encounter. A general audience at the Vatican is not a random speech, it is a structured liturgy of the word for the masses. It follows a rhythmic pattern that has been refined through the decades. The arrival, the Pope-mobile journey. The sudden roar of the crowd signals the arrival of the Holy Father. The white open-top vehicle winds through the sectors of the square. This is the most intimate moment, where the Pope stops to kiss babies, exchange zucchettos, skullcaps, with pilgrims, and offer a hand to those reaching out. The scriptural reading. Once the Pope reaches the platform, the audience officially begins with the sign of the cross, a passage of scripture, today, focusing on the foundation of the apostles, is read in multiple languages. The catechesis, the heart of the morning. The Pope delivers his main reflection, the text we analyzed in the previous parts. Speaking as a father to his children. In 2026, Pope Leo XIV uses a style that is both intellectually profound and disarmingly simple. Summary and greetings. Following the catechesis, priests representing different language groups provide a summary of the Pope's words. The Pope then offers personal greetings to specific groups, today, emphasizing the peace builders of Procmura and the faithful from Vietnam. The Apostolic blessing. The morning concludes with the chanting of the Pater Noster, Our Father, in Latin, and the Apostolic blessing, which extends to the pilgrims' families at home and any devotional objects, rosaries, crosses, they have brought with them. March 25, 2026. A unique moment in time. What makes this specific Wednesday, March 25, 2026, different from others? It is the intersection of tradition and urgency. Around the square, the digital age is omnipresent. Thousands of smartphones are held aloft, live streaming the event to families in remote villages in the Andes or high-rises in Saigon. Yet, despite the technology, the core experience remains ancient. When the choir begins to lead the Veni Creator Spiritus, The sound bounces off the facade of the basilica, drowning out the noise of modern Rome beyond the walls. The sun climbs higher, illuminating the statues of the saints atop the colonnade. They look down upon a church that is clearly on the move. This morning, the hierarchy the Pope is about to speak of is not a distant concept in a textbook. It is visible right here, in the Swiss Guards. The priests reading the summaries, the bishops flanking the Pope, and most importantly, in the thousands of laypeople who form the base of this sacred pyramid. The Pope takes his seat. The crowd falls into a respectful hush. The bells of St. Peter's strike the hour, their deep bronze tolling echoing across the square. A priest approaches the microphone and begins a reading from the Gospel according to Matthew. The world stops to listen. The general audience of the Annunciation has begun. Part 1. The Sacred Architecture of Salvation, Theology of Hierarchy and the Petrine Ministry. 1. Introduction. The Lenten Context of 2026. On March 25, 2026, coincidentally the Solemnity of the Annunciation, Pope Leo XIV stood before a world still grappling with the echoes of early 21st century instabilities. The general audience was not merely a routine weekly gathering, it was a profound reassertion of the Church's identity. The theme, the hierarchy of the Church established by Christ for the salvation of all, serves as a cornerstone for understanding how a 2,000-year-old institution views its internal structure not as a relic of medieval feudalism, but as a living, breathing mechanism of divine grace. The Pope began by connecting the yes of Mary at the Annunciation to the yes of the Apostles. Just as Mary's obedience allowed the Word to become flesh, the Apostles' obedience to Christ's call allowed the mystical body of the Church to take structural form in history. This Part 1 delves into the theological depths of that structure. 2. The ontological foundation, not a bureaucracy, but a sacrament. A common misconception in the modern secular world is viewing the Catholic Church as a religious go, or a multinational corporation with the Pope as CEO and bishops as regional managers. Pope Leo XIV vehemently corrected this during his audience. 2.1. The Hierarchia as sacred rule. The word hierarchy derives from the Greek hieros, sacred, and archane, rule, order. In the mind of the Church, this order is not about the exercise of secular power but the mediation of the sacred. The Pope emphasized that the hierarchy is Christocentric. It exists because Christ willed it. When Jesus gathered the 12, he was reconstituting the 12 tribes of Israel. This was a symbolic and structural act. By giving Peter the keys of the kingdom, Christ did not establish a tyranny, he established a stewardship. The hierarchy is the visible sign of an invisible reality that Christ continues to lead, teach, and sanctify his people through human instruments. 2.2. The sacramental character of holy orders. The Pope's discourse revisited the Council of Trent and Vatican II's Lumen Gentium. The hierarchy is sustained by the sacrament of holy orders. This sacrament imprints an indelible character on the soul, configuring the minister to Christ the head. Leo XIV pointed out that the hierarchy serves three specific functions: munera, munus docendi, the office of teaching, the duty to preserve the deposit of faith, depositum fidei, from error. In an era of post-truth and digital misinformation, the Pope argued that the hierarchical teaching office is more necessary than ever to provide a moral compass. Munus sanctificandi, the office of sanctifying, the administration of the sacraments. Without the bishop, there is no priest; without the priest, there is no Eucharist. The hierarchy is the artery through which the lifeblood of grace flows to the laity. Munus regendi, the office of governing. This is the most misunderstood office. The Pope clarified that governing in the Church means serving. To lead is to shepherd, and to shepherd is to be ready to lay down one's life for the sheep. 3. Apostolic succession, the golden chain of continuity. One of the most striking parts of the March 25 address was the Pope's reflection on apostolic succession. 3.1. The historical link. The Pope reminded the pilgrims that every bishop today can trace his spiritual lineage back to the upper room in Jerusalem. This is not just a historical curiosity, it is a guarantee of authenticity. In a world of fleeting trends and liquid modernity, the apostolic succession provides a solid rock. 3.2. The College of Bishops and the Primacy of Peter. Pope Leo XIV spoke at length about the relationship between the head, the Pope, and the body, the bishops. This collegiality was a major theme of Vatican II. The Pope does not act in isolation, he acts in communion with his brothers in the episcopacy. However, the Petrine ministry remains the perpetual and visible principle and foundation of unity. The Pope's 2026 message highlighted that the Petrine office is a ministry of mercy. Peter was a man who failed, who denied Christ, yet was chosen to strengthen his brothers. The hierarchy, therefore, is a structure of reconciled diversity. 4. The role of the laity, cooperation, not competition. While the focus was on the hierarchy, Pope Leo XIV made a crucial theological distinction. The hierarchy exists for the laity. 4.1. The priesthood of all believers. The Pope echoed the universal call to holiness. The hierarchical priesthood, ministerial, and the common priesthood of the faithful, lay, are ordered to one another. One cannot exist without the other. The hierarchy provides the sacraments, and the laity takes the grace of those sacraments into the secular square, into politics, laboratories, kitchens, and digital spaces. 4.2. Synodal hierarchy. In 2026, the concept of synodality reached a mature stage. The Pope explained that a synodal church does not mean a democratic church, where truth is decided by a majority vote. Instead, it is a church where the hierarchy listens to the sensus fidei, the sense of faith, of the people. And the people look to the hierarchy for definitive guidance. It is a symphony, not a solo. 5. Addressing the crisis, the purification of the hierarchy. With characteristic candor, Pope Leo XIV did not shy away from the shadows within the Church. He addressed the wounds caused by members of the hierarchy who betrayed their mission. 5.1. Anti-clericalism and true reform. The Pope noted that many today reject the hierarchy because of the sins of its ministers. He argued that the answer to bad hierarchy is not no hierarchy, but holy hierarchy. He called for a rigorous return to the spirit of the gospel, poverty, chastity, and obedience. 5.2. The safeguarding of minors. A significant portion of Part 1 of his address, and our analysis, must touch upon his stern warning. The hierarchical structure must never be used as a cloak for malice. He reaffirmed that the protection of the smallest is the primary test of a bishop's legitimacy. A shepherd who does not protect the lambs from the wolves, the Pope said, is a hireling, not a father. 6. Conclusion of Part 1. The goal is the kingdom. The first 2.500 words of this reflection conclude with the Pope's vision of the Church as the sacrament of salvation. The hierarchy is the skeleton of the body, providing structure and movement, but the soul is the Holy Spirit. The Pope invited the faithful to look past the human failings of the institution and see the divine design. In the hierarchy, we find a fatherhood that is not of this world, a guidance that spans centuries, and a promise that the gates of hell shall not prevail. The Church as a beacon of peace in a fractured world, diplomacy, dialogue, and the cry for humanity. 1. The prophetic voice, beyond the church walls. In the second half of his general audience on March 25, 2026, Pope Leo XIV transitioned from the internal theological structure of the Church to its external mission as a leaven of peace for all humanity. If Part 1 established the skeleton hierarchy, Part 2 describes the hands of the Church reaching out to a world bleeding from the wounds of conflict and indifference. The Pope's address became noticeably more emotional as he turned his gaze toward the geopolitical tragedies of 2026. He reminded the faithful that the hierarchy's authority is hollow if it does not use its voice to defend the annewum, the poor, the displaced, and the victims of war. 2. The moral condemnation of modern warfare. Death from the sky. One of the most striking and controversial segments of the Pope's speech was his direct challenge to the ethics of modern military technology. In 2026, where drone technology and long-range missile strikes have become the standard of conflict, The Pope's words resonated with a haunting clarity. 2.1. The illusion of surgical strikes. The Pope challenged the modern military euphemism of precision strikes. He argued that regardless of the technology used, the result is always the same: destruction, terror, and the death of the innocent. Drawing a line through history, he suggested that the moral evolution of humanity should have led to the total ban on aerial bombings after the horrific lessons of the 20th century, referring to the blitzes of World War II and subsequent conflicts. 2.2. The dehumanization of war. Pope Leo XIV warned of the gamification of death. When warfare is conducted from thousands of miles away via a screen, the perpetrator loses sight of the imago Dei, image of God, in the victim. He called on engineers, scientists, and political leaders to recognize that progress that kills is not progress, it is a regression into barbarism. This moral stance is an extension of the Church's pro-life teaching, protecting life from conception to natural death, and everywhere in between, especially under the shadow of falling bombs. 3. Procmura and the African model of coexistence. The Pope's audience included a special greeting to the representatives of Procmura, the Program for Christian-Muslim Relations in Africa. This was not a mere diplomatic courtesy, it was a strategic theological statement. 3.1. Africa as a laboratory of hope. While the Western world often views Africa through the lens of crisis, Pope Leo XIV presented Africa as a teacher of dialogue. Procmura, an organization with over 6 decades of history, embodies the ecumenism of life. The Pope praised how, in many African communities, Christians and Muslims do not just tolerate each other but actively collaborate to solve local problems. From water scarcity to education. 3.2. Dialogue of action versus dialogue of doctrine. The Pope made a crucial distinction. While theological debates between religions are important, the dialogue of action is urgent. He emphasized that in the face of radicalization, which he called a cancerous perversion of religion, the hierarchy of the Church must be the first to extend a hand to Muslim leaders. The goal is not a uniformity of belief, but a unity of purpose for the common good. 4. The Church's role in global diplomacy, the power of soft authority. As the successor of Peter, Pope Leo XIV utilized the general audience to reassert the Holy See's unique position in international relations. 4.1. The sovereignty of the spiritual. The hierarchy of the Church, being transnational, serves as a bridge between nations. The Pope spoke of the Vatican's neutrality, clarifying that it is not a neutrality of indifference, but a neutrality of active mediation. He called for a renewed global solidarity, urging wealthy nations to move beyond charity toward justice, specifically regarding debt relief and climate technology sharing for the global south. 4.2. Protecting the vulnerable in a digital age. Expanding on his earlier themes, the Pope addressed the new frontiers of invisible warfare, including cyber attacks and the manipulation of information. He argued that the Church's hierarchy has a duty to advocate for truth in the digital public square. In 2026, bearing witness to the truth includes fighting the infodemic of hatred that fuels physical wars. 5. A call to local action. The parish as a peace cell. The Pope did not want his message to remain at the level of high-altitude theology or international politics. He brought it back to the local community. 5.1. The hierarchy as a servant of the neighborhood. If the bishop is the shepherd of the diocese, the priest is the father of the parish. The Pope encouraged local pastors to turn their churches into sanctuaries of peace. He challenged every parishioner to ask, "What is my yes to peace today?" 5.2. Welcoming the stranger. In 2026, migration remains a defining challenge. The Pope linked the hierarchical order of the Church to the order of charity. He reminded the faithful that in the face of a refugee, we do not see a threat to our identity, but a brother or sister seeking the face of God. He condemned the walls of the heart that are more dangerous than walls of concrete. 6. The final blessing. A vision for the future. Pope Leo XIV concluded the audience by invoking the protection of the Virgin Mary, whose fiat at the Annunciation changed the course of history. 6.1. The hope of the resurrection. Even as he spoke of bombs and betrayal, the Pope's final tone was one of indestructible hope. He reminded the world that the Church's hierarchy is ultimately a servant of the resurrection. The final word of history does not belong to the warmongers or the corrupt, but to the God of life. 6.2. Conclusion of the treatise. The 5.000-word journey through the themes of the March 25, 2026 audience reveals a church that is both ancient and modern. By reaffirming the sacred hierarchy, the Pope provides the structure needed for the Church to survive the storms of history. By calling for global peace and dialogue, he provides the mission that justifies that structure. The hierarchy, therefore, is not a pyramid of power, but an inverted pyramid where the Pope and the bishops are at the bottom, supporting the weight of the world's suffering and lifting it toward the light of Christ. As the pilgrims left St. Peter's Square that day, they carried with them a profound realization: to be a member of the Church is to be a builder of a kingdom that is not of this world, yet is very much for the salvation of this world.
you.